Hello everyone, my name is Thorsten, Director of Development and Engineering at Orange Quantum Systems, and it's great to be here and to talk a bit about aspects of quantum computing. Today I will present to you key ingredients for developing superconducting quantum processes at scale. The outline of my talk is what quantum computing actually is and why do we care, what is needed to make it useful, and then going into specifics, namely what is so special about quantum chip testing. So what is quantum computing and why do we care? Taking the information processing capability as a function of time, you will see that there is exponential growth, and this is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. And it will be powered by multiple scaling engines. And one aspect here which will help in the future could be quantum. Quantum means that we are manipulating quantum systems and are able to form artificial atoms and engineer them as such that we can do computing with these items. And our hope is that this second quantum revolution offers, with this respect in quantum computing, far-reaching potential applications in healthcare, chemical simulations, or material science. What actually is needed to make quantum computing useful? First movers in the quantum hardware sphere have made already consistent progress. One of the most important initial demonstrations is about 4 years ago, where Google AI was able to demonstrate quantum supremacy, meaning that showing that a small superconducting quantum processor was able to outperform a supercomputing system in the US for a specific calculation, which was predominantly academic, but showed the potential of quantum computing to the fullest. In 2020, Europe was also there coming up with its first cloud-based quantum computer. And what is interesting here is that next to the superconducting chip, we also were offered a spin qubit system, another quantum computing platform. And we see here also that quantum technology on the right side is steadily going from lab to fab by opening up, for instance, world's first commercial quantum chip company in 2021, Quantware. And Europe's first quantum chip fabrication facility was opened in 2022 by IQM. And just recently, IBM Quantum in the US was also demonstrating quantum utility, where actually quantum computers showed similar performances as large-scale supercomputers on a useful scientific application. But in order to realize a quantum advantage on the commercial scale, more and much better qubits are needed. This is what you see here on this plot, where you have, or on the horizontal axis, the number of qubits, and on the vertical axis, the error rate per qubit. And importantly is, at the end of the day, you want to be on the upper right side at the universal fault-tolerant quantum computing space, but this will be hard work and there is still a long way to go. Currently, you will see that certain aspects of current qubit development is limiting this process to some extent. And what we will argue here in the following is that there are certain aspects needed to actually re-accelerate this process. Namely, what we think is that next to scientific breakthroughs, it requires a combination of them and novel approaches and integrated enabling products. To be very precise, we need more and more foundry-compatible processes for maximizing device yield and minimizing device variability. And on the other side, we also need novel test infrastructures. We need many more integrated products, which clearly are used by exposing the user requirements, which you really need to build your quantum chips. And the interface definition within the technology value chain has to be much more sharp. Coming to the ingredient number 1, that we gradually transitioning from shared facilities and standard qubit manufacturing towards foundry compatibility. For instance, introducing foundry compatible processes would mean to ensure that metrology tools such as cross-sectional TEM and energy dispersion spectroscopy are part of one's regular metrology and inspection portfolio. And through tools like these, one can ensure tighter process control that one can implement. Josephson junction, in other words, can be then, as you seen here, can be manufactured in very novel ways, as presented by IMEC. There are, of course, current challenges. The process steps are not yet optimized, and the coherence times of these qubits are kind of below the ones from standard fabrication processes. However, the advantage here is through process control, the material performance is much more uniform, and you can much more you can be much more careful, improve the process and come to better results. To be concrete, on the left side, there is the Josephson junction being fabricated based on back-end of line processes, which we know from the semicon industry, and they are super uniform and very well defined. So key advantage over conventional pilot lines is we would get improved learning cycles and better process control, and at the end we will also reach improved coherences. The second ingredient is coming from the test infrastructure, as already named. We need to gradually shift to a better integrated product development approach. What that means in this architecture of quantum systems is that currently coming from the R&D side is that what you want to implement, your experiment, is normally very well known, and then you kind of assemble certain components and hardware equipment which make it work. But what then finally comes to play, the hardware-software integration to fulfill the user requirements, is very often lacking. It leads to unwanted delays in R&D activities and also some bugs which are just very slowly can be debugged. Integrated product development, on the other hand, will enhance focus on the interface definition of technology value chain and leads to a better integration of all aspects of the experiment, of the hardware and the software, because they have the same high priority. And at the end of the day, this leads to extendable and easier to use solutions and to an acceleration of quantum processor testing and its diagnostics. What is actually so special about quantum chip testing, you might ask? Well, the device development cycle is a quite iterative process. And most importantly, the parameters you require are only obtained at millikelvin temperatures, namely at operating conditions of the quantum computing system. And there aren't any correlations between room temperature parameters such as resistances and capacitances or through optical means to actually correlate to these quantum information properties. The test tools you require to actually extract all the things you need to know about the quantum processor to accurately execute algorithms are in the R&D facilities very expensive tools with slow manual workflows, and they're actually extremely difficult to operate. Here on the left side, you see an example of the chip being hooked up to the so-called mixing chamber plate of the dilution refrigerator, and this then after a couple of hours or days will be completely closed and cooled down to operating temperatures. And these operating conditions are at millikelvin temperatures, as already stressed. And what is important here also to note is that the complexity in characterizing and calibrating this chip is also gradually increasing with time. At the end of the day, what Orange QS is going to do is we are developing an integrated and easy to use high throughput industry system for accelerating quantum chip development. This industry system will provide you with optimized solutions for fast testing of quantum chips. It will be much more a turnkey operation port with fully automated qubit testing, and definitely much more affordable than current solutions. Let me close here and give you two takeaway messages. First of all, I hopefully was able to convince you that synergies with foundry compatible approaches are required. Obviously, there will be distinct differences between the current CMOS and quantum chips, but I think it will be a benefit for the quantum chip development if this will be moved into the fabs. And also, the final piece here from our side is that more integrated test and measurement equipment is required to re-accelerate the QPU development. Thank you for your attention.